That one, the first important topic is Stokes law. Stokes law. So Stokes is the one of the scientist name. So on his name, one of the law is there. That is the Stokes law. What this law will tell us, that means if one of the body, one of the any rigid body is moving with a certain velocity v in a viscous fluid, that means it is moving like this direction. Let's assume we dropped one glass sphere, glass sphere into a pool of water. So that's why this sphere will go down like this direction with a certain velocity v. At that time, when the body is moving in the viscous fluid, some of the force will act on the body. So that is the viscous force act on the body. That is named as the capital V, capital F only. The Stokes is given one of the empirical formula. Empirical formula means a near value, which tells about the near value of the magnitude of how much force is acting on the body. So that law is named as the Stokes law. Is nothing but the Stokes law will clearly tells that how much viscous force will act on a moving body in a viscous fluid. So the Stokes law will tells that it will tells that the amount of viscous force acting on a moving body in a viscous fluid, So now up to our intermediate level, so the shape of the body should be taken as a spherical shape. So spherical shape should be considered, because you may get the doubt, if I release a body like a triangular shape, if I release a body like a rectagonal shape, like that. So is there the solution of this one? But up to this is the too much difficult formula will come. Just we are learning our level of intermediate level. So in this up to level, the spherical shape, the body should be considered as the spherical shape, like the spherical shape body is moving in a fluid. So let's assume if a body is having the radius of the capital R radius, let's say this is the spherical shape body is moving in a fluid. So the radius of the body is let's assume take it as a small r. Now I am taking, because of different shape of the body, the radius will decreases or increases. That's why I am taking the variable r. So the viscous force which will act against to the flow movement of the body, that means if the body is moving in downward direction, then the viscous force will act in the upward direction. If the body is moving in upward direction, the viscous force will act in the downward direction, like that. So the viscous force will which is acting on the body, it will depends upon three important parameters. So now we are going to discuss one by one. So the viscous force depends on how it will depends means one by one we will discuss. It will depends on. So first point is it will depends on velocity. How it will depends means the viscous force is directly proportional to the velocity. So that means if fast moving body, the viscous force will adjust as depending upon the velocity. That means if the body is moving slowly, then the viscous force will also having the slower value. If the body is moving larger velocity, the viscous force will act on the larger velocity. Now it is the V and F. So the length of the lines will represent the magnitude of the velocities. The length of the lines will represent the magnitude of the force. So this is the upward direction, it is the downward direction. If V is increases, F also increases. That is the first one. It is directly proportional to. So the viscous force is directly proportional to the radius of the body which is moving in the fluid. So it is directly proportional to radius of the body. That means if the smaller radius body is moving in the fluid, that means the viscous force also smaller value will have. This is the R value is small. The viscous force also will small. If the bigger radius of the body is moving in the fluid, means if the R is value is increases, the viscous force also increases. It the F is directly proportional to the radius of the body. Then third point is the viscous force is directly proportional to the coefficient of the viscosity. That means if the body is moving in a more coefficient of the fluid, then the viscous force is more. If the body is moving less coefficient of the fluid, then viscous force is less. You already know this one. Air having the coefficient of viscosity of the air is lesser than to the coefficient of the viscosity of the water. You already know this one. This value is nearly 10 to the micro into micro. What is the value of this one? I already told now what is the value of viscous force of the air. Air is equal to nearly 200. Yes, sir. 200 micropoison. Water having the 0.01 poison. So that is the water having the water can give the more viscous force as compared to the air, because of the viscous force coefficient of the viscosity of the air having the lesser value, coefficient of the viscosity of the water having the more value. You already know this one, the coefficient of the viscosity of the honey. So honey having the more viscous fluid, then the viscous force which is acting on the moving body due to the honey will having the more, because of honey coefficient of the viscosity is more. That is the you can see this one. They may give the some of the examples of how this one already closed. Okay, let me continue this one. So with your normal observation also you can say that honey is the more viscous fluid as compared to the water and air. Is it correct? My sentence is correct or not? Hello. Yes, no, that's why. So the value, I try to give the accurate value, but it is closed. So the viscous force which is exerting by the honey is the more as compared. Now I am comparing these three proportional. Then I can write as the single form. F is directly proportional to V R into neta. So that I am rewriting this one like this. Neta into R into V I am writing. So for your easy pronunciation, as per your textbook I written. So the order of for your easy understand. So while I am removing this proportional, the experimental result is observed that this value will get the 6 pi into neta into R into V. This will tells that how much viscous force will act on a body which is moving with velocity of V in a viscous fluid. That means if the velocity, if they given the velocity V, if they given the radius of the object R, if they given the coefficient of the viscosity, then you can easily find out the viscous force value F value. So let me give please tell this one. If the body is moving, it is like, let's assume this is the spherical body is moving like this direction. If the body is moving like this direction, what is the direction of the viscous force on this one? Whether it is acting in downward direction or upward direction? Yes, the viscous force will act in the upward direction like this. That means what I need to point out here, the viscous force is always to oppose the relative motion of the body. That means the body is moving in downward direction, it will tries to oppose the motion of the body. So to tries the motion of the body. That is the very important. So this formula will tells that this formula is named as the Stokes law. This formula is known as the Stokes law. The Stokes law will tells that the magnitude of how much amount of viscous force will act on a moving body in viscous fluid. So the fluid is the viscous fluid, then how much amount of viscous force will act if the body is moving certain velocity. With this formula you can easily tell that how much amount of the viscous force will act. Now before going to deal this one, so how these values are, they will come whether the now basic formula F is directly proportional to neta into R comma V is the formula is there. So these powers can be the powers can be fixed with help of the dimensional formula. With help of the dimensional formula, they may ask in your examination also. Now F is equal to certain K. The K will be fixed with help of the experimental. We already discussed this one. This value is equal to 6 pi value. Now we are concentrating only on powers. Whether it will come 1 or any other value will come. Now we are fixing with the help of the dimensional formula. Let's assume we don't know that one values. Let's A and R of power B and V power C. So this is the value we need to know. So we already know this one. If any physical quantity 1 is equal to other physical quantity, any other physical quantity is equal to 2, then these two must be equal according to the dimensional formula. The two physical quantity must be have the same dimensional powers in the fundamental physical quantity. That means these physical quantity having the fundamental physical quantity M1, L1 and T1 is there, then the powers of A, B, C is there, then these physical quantity having the fundamental physical quantity M2, L2, T2 is there. These powers are let's assume take A1, B1 and C1. Here is the A2 and B2 and C2 is there. Then according to the dimensional formula, these power must be equal. That means A1 must be A2 and B1 must be B2. In the same similar manner, C1 must be C2. Then only these two physical quantity can be written as equal according to the dimensional formula. In the same situation also we are applying the same method. So now here is the two fundamental quantities are there. Now F is equal to, here is the K. K is the constant. The constant should not having any dimensional powers. That's why neta into A, R power B and V power C is there. So I am writing each and every term in the dimensional formula. F is the force dimensional formula is there, MLT power minus 2. Yes, F is equal to MA. MA is nothing but mass into acceleration is nothing but velocity by time. That is equal to velocity is equal to distance by time into time. That is equal to M power 1, S power 1, T 2 times is there. T square means T power minus 2. So this is the left side physical quantity. Then K does not having any physical quantity. I am not writing here. So that is the 0. That is the power is 0. Nothing, all are having instead of K, all is 0. N is equal to, this is the quantity of yes, it is the coefficient of the viscosity. So that is equal to, what is the formula? M L power minus 1 T power minus 1. So we need to find out this A value, A and B and C values we need to find. R is the nothing but it is the distance of, it is the radius of the sphere. So radius is nothing but length only. So length means L power B, and V means velocity of the body. Velocity means this term. This term means S by T means L T power minus 1 whole to the power of C. So according to dimensional formula, when these two physical quantity can be equal, the powers of the fundamental physical quantity M power in this total M power must be equal. L power, these left side L powers must be equal to right side L powers. T power in the left side T powers must be equal to the right side T power. Now I am comparing what I am comparing. First I am comparing powers of M. So in the left side what I am getting, 1 is equal to, at right side I am getting only 1 is there, M power 1 is there, 1 into A is equal to A. So we are getting one quantity we got, A is equal to 1. Let's assume put it as a 1. So now we are getting L power I am comparing powers of L. So L is the power is 1 is there. So that is equal to 1 is equal to here minus 1 into A, that is equal to minus A. So L power 1 is the 1 into B is equal to plus B. Here N into is equal to plus C. Here we cannot find out. If we substitute A value also, we don't have the B and C. B and C we don't, minus C, na? Okay, let me put this one. So minus C, minus C. So because of minus 1 is there? No, minus C plus
No, sir.
plus C. Okay, plus C. So plus C. So we cannot find out with help of the directly with by substituting the A value. That's why I am moving further. So what about comparing the powers of T? So T I am comparing. Here the minus 2 is minus 2 is equal to, here the T power minus 1, that is equal to minus A. Here nothing is there. Here is there another one, plus minus C. Minus C is there. Now already we know the A value. I am substituting in this equation. A value is equal to minus 1 minus C. So now I am sending C this side, minus 2 this side. So C will become plus C, minus 1 minus 2 will become plus 2. So C is equal to 1. So this is equal to C. Now with help of this equation I am substituting A and C values in this equation. So 1 is equal to minus A is equal to minus 1 plus B we don't know, plus C is there, plus C. So that, sorry, plus 1, let me write plus 1. So minus 1 plus 1 is cancelled, B is equal to 1. So can I, so all powers are came. So can I go to the what we assume like that? So F is equal to some constant K into, so neta power A and R power B and velocity power C, we assume that one, but some constant into neta power 1, R power 1 and V power 1 we got. So this K value is fixed with help of the experimental results, that is equal to 6 pi into neta into R into V. This is the formula for the Stokes law. So this is the formula for the Stokes law. Now we are going to apply the Stokes law. So with help of the Stokes law, we are applying the Stokes law in one of the important case. How the application of the Stokes law we are discussing here, the application of the Stokes law. Very important this one. So the according to our the syllabus we don't have this one, but is a very important application of the Stokes law. So before dealing this one, we are applying this one. Let's assume the clouds are nearly at the height of from the ground surface at the height of nearly 4 let's assume 2 kilometers only. Just assume like this. So the clouds will be nearly more or similar 4 kilometers will be there. So at the time of raining they may come down. So they are at the 2 kilometers height. In the meters means 2 into 10 to the power of 3 kilometers distance is there. Okay, na? That is there. Are you getting any doubt? Hello, please. Are you there? Are you there? Okay. Okay. Yes. So now I am assuming at the time of rain, one of the airdrop is formed here. One of the water drop is formed here. This water drop is coming towards to the earth surface. They are coming directly. It is coming towards to the earth surface. So it is vertically freely falling body. We can assume that it is a freely falling body from a height of h. It is the body. We can assume that it is nothing but one of the body is freely falling at a certain height to h with mass of m. So this is nothing but we can apply the Torricelli formula here. If the body is freely falling from a certain height, is equal to the velocity of the body when the body will reach at the ground bottom of the surface is equal to V is equal to square root of root 2 GH. This is the formula we are having. So my question is what is the velocity of the water drop, that is a raindrop, when the raindrop is hitting at the ground on the bottom of the earth surface. So according to this formula, what can we write? Square root of 2 into G. I am taking G I am taking as average value 10. So just assumption, this complete example is just assumption. 10 into 2 into 10 to the power of 3 10 to the power of 3, that is equal 2 into 2 will come out so 1 2, 10 to the power of 3 into 10 to the power of 2 will comes out one value, so 10 square will get, so that is equal to 200 kilometer per hour. 200 kilometer per second. So, 200 meter per second. 200 meter per second. The body is coming, striking to the ground. So will you please look on this one? It is not a small value. It is a big value. So in 1 second it is moving like this much velocity. So do you see this one? So if we convert this value in hours, you want to convert this value in hours. So let me convert in hours. In hours means, so if you know the value in seconds means, how can we convert this value in hours?
60 into 6200.
Yes, sir. So that is equal to, we are converting this one. So 1 second is equal to, we are converting this one velocity in 200 meter per second. So the velocity in kilometer per hour we need to get. That one, how can we get means, let me do one thing. So 1 meter is equal to how many kilometers? Let me check this one. Wait. I am getting the generalized formula, meter per second to kilometer per hour. So 1 meter is equal to how many kilometers? So 1000 meters.
1,000, sir.
Yes, 1 by 1000. Sorry. So 1 meter is equal to 1 by 1000 kilometers. 1 second is equal to 1 divided by 60 into 60. 1 by 60 into 60 hours. So then these 60 into 60 will come up. So
600.
that is equal to 60 into. Let me go to the bottom. We will go to the generalized formula for use this one. So that is equal to 60 into 60 divided by 1000 in that value will get in the kilometer per hour. So per hour, that is equal to 10 cancel, 10 cancel. That is equal to 6 into 6 means 2 3 jar 3 6 jar 18 divided by 5 kilometer per hour. So that means if we multiplied 18 by 5 in the meter per second, you will get the value in kilometer per second. Is it not? Hello.
Sir, అర్థం కాలేదు sir.
Let me explain what I am telling here. So otherwise I will directly go to the generalized formula. So we got the V is equal to 200 meter per second. So now I need to get this value in kilometer per hour. So that means 1 meter is equal to 1 divided by 1000 kilometer. So I am converted this meter as a kilometer. That means 1 meter is nothing but, so 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. I need only 1 meter. I send this value this side. That is equal to 1 divided by 1000 meters is nothing but 1 meter. So that's why I put, hello.
Yes, sir.
So that is the value. So this is our aim. This is our goal. So that's why I converted the meter value. Then I am concentrating on second. Second means in hours. So 1 hour is equal to, let me put this like this. So 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes into 60 seconds. These many seconds. But 1 second is equal to, I am sending this value this side. That is equal to 1 divided by 60 into 60. That means 1 second value is equal to 1 divided by 60 into 60 hours. Is it correct only, na?
Yes, sir.
That's why I am putting instead of seconds 1 divided by 60 into 60. We are concentrating unnecessary matter. I need to close as much as fast this one. So in hours. So one denominator. See, this is the denominator by denominator. So it will come numerator position. That is equal to 200 into 60 into 60 divided by 1000. That's why this value will give the kilometer per hour. So now I am concentrating. If there is any cancelling terms, means these 0 will cancel, these 0 will cancel. 6 3 are 2 3 are 6, 2 5 are 10. That is equal to 3 into 6 is equal to 18. That means 200 into 18 by 5 is equal to kilometer by hour. So what I state means, if you want to change meter per second into kilometer per hour, so just you need to multiply with 18 by 5 in the place of meter per second. You will get the kilometer per hour. That is I explained here. That is only I explained here. Hello.
Yes, sir.
That is
Okay,
so
sir.
now I am cancelling. If there any terms will cancel
I
it.
think
5 1 jar 5 5 4 jar, na? 5 4 jar 40. So now the 4 is multiplying with 80. That is equal to 8 4 3 and 720 kilometers per hour. So is it a small value? Is it
No,
this
sir.
value is the bullet train, more than the bullet train. See this means very large value, na? We are assuming just 2 kilometer from height of the raindrop is coming. We are achieving that at 720 kilometer per hour. It is the bullet train fast is coming. So if raindrop is coming that much bullet train fast means our heads will definitely will blow. What I am saying? Is it na? Hello. If you want to catch the raindrops in your palm means your hands will broke like that. So you cannot you cannot stand in front inside. So in the rain. So what I am saying, it is something is happening while rain is dropping, while rain is falling from the through the air. So something is happening means that topic is we are going to discuss here. That is the application of the Stokes law. So it is not happening here. So this value never will be achieved by the raindrop. What is the behind the physics is main we are going to discuss now. That physics we are going to discuss. Now let's assume at the initial stage the raindrop is formed here. So we are taking this this is the raindrop at initial stage. So the radius of the raindrop is r. So this is the density of the raindrop is rho. Now for your generalized case, now I am taking this is the object. Now I am taking the density of the object rho. Let's assume take like this. Generalized case I am taking. So this is the raindrop density rho, because of I assume that this is the raindrop. So this at initial stage the velocity of the raindrop is 0. Just now it is formed. It is ready to fall towards to the earth. That is just now it is formed. Are you getting what I am saying? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now it is coming towards to the earth like this. It is coming. So while it is coming, so the weight of the raindrop will always will act in downward direction. It will act in downward direction. But when it is so it is not a similar case. The raindrop is formed. It is not in a vacuum. It is formed in air. It is formed in air. That means the raindrop, one of the object is completely filled, completely immersed in a fluid of such a fluid of air. Air. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
It is inside the air. That means one of the force will act in upward direction. So that force is nothing but buoyant force according to the according to the Archimedes principle. So the force will always to try to pull the body in upward direction. This force is the buoyant force. That is nothing but thrust. Thrust will act. What is the thrust? What is the thrust value? F of T. Upward force. Value I am asking. Value. You forgot, I hope. So thrust is equal to the amount of fluid which is outcome due to the immersion of the body into what is the value? Hello. Density of the liquid into acceleration due to gravity. Rho G, V into rho G L. V rho G. This is the formula. It is the amount of volume which is displaced by the object. It is the density of the liquid and acceleration due to gravity. It is the thrust value, upthrust value. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
So are you following or not? Is there any critical? No, nothing, So now my question once again I am clarifying here. So if with R is the radius of the body, it is already completely immersed in the air fluid, then tell me the upthrust value F of T, volume of the liquid, how much liquid will come out due to the immersion of this fluid? That is nothing but volume of this sphere. Volume of the sphere. Volume how much? Volume of the sphere how much? 4 by 3 pi r cube into density of the liquid. Density of the liquid means it is the air. Now I am taking air density is L. I am taking as a generalized case. Generalized case means object density is a rho 0. Density of the liquid is rho L into G. This value will act in upward direction. See again the body is at a starting stage, the body velocity is a 0. So the body velocity is 0 means according to the body is not started to move. Now the body is started to move, it is moving like this direction. While if the body is moving in a viscous fluid, to oppose the motion of the body, some of the force will come to role play. What is that force?
Viscous force.
Yes, viscous force. Viscous force will come to role play. So to oppose the motion of the body, in which direction viscous force will come?
Upward.
Upward direction only will come. Upward direction viscous force will come and oppose the motion of the body. So the viscous force is equal to, I am taking F of V. Generalized I am taking F only. F only I will take. What is the amount of viscous force? F is equal to 6 pi into neta into
Theta into R.
R into
R into G.
Velocity.
velocity of the body, Now tell me, at the starting stage, at case 1 I am taking, at starting stage the velocity of the body is 0. That implies that there is no any viscous force. Viscous force is 0. There is no body, there is no viscous force on the body. Is it correct? Are you getting what I am teaching?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now if the body is, you already know, if the freely falling body is started from rest, gradually the velocity of the body will increases. Gradually the velocity of the body will increases. While traveling, gradually the velocity will increases. That means at a certain case, what I am telling, so the V value will be slowly increases while the body is freely falling. F viscous force is increasing while it's traveling towards to the ground. Viscous force is increasing. Now what I am saying, here is the two types of forces are acting. One type of forces are trying to stop the velocity of the body. The other force is acting to drag the body to downward direction. Are you getting what I am telling?
Yes, sir.
Repeat, sir. Repeat.
Yes, what I am telling, see, here is the two types of forces are acting. So one types of forces, they are trying to pull the body in downward direction. The other types of forces are, they are stopping the body. They are pushing the body in upward direction. Are you getting?
Yes.
Yes, that's not. If you see what I am saying, if the two forces are reaches to certain velocity, that means if the two forces are reaching the certain velocity, from that place the body is independent to these two types of forces. That means the body will not affect these upward forces, the body will not be affect to the downward forces. It will continue. How much velocity of the body will reach that point, it will continue with the same velocity from that point. What I am saying,
Freely falling.
it will act from that place, from freely falling with particular constant velocity. What I am saying, that is a very, very important. Say, let me give one simple example. You can easily understand. See what I am saying, it at initial stage, let me for your easy understand. See, here is the downward force is the 100 newtons is there. For your assumption only I am taking. So the upward thrust is only having the 10 newton is there. So the velocity of the fluid is at the starting stage is the 0. So that is equal, there is no any of viscous force in the 0. So after certain case, the body reaches some this place. So the upward force is the 10 newton only. The downward force is 100 newton only. But at a certain case, the velocity of the body, so some velocity the body reaches V. So due to this velocity, the force which is acting in upward direction is the nearly 90 newton. 90 newton the body got. So that means these upward forces is the 90 plus 10 is equal to 100 newton is matched to the downward force of 100 newton. That means after this, the body will not go to the other velocity. It won't go because of it is the upward force and downward forces are balanced to each other. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
So what I am telling, the body will reach up to a maximum velocity. From that place, the body will continue with the same velocity up to hitting the ground. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
No? Now some students are getting doubts itself. Let me once again I am explaining. So what is the role of these two forces? One forces is opposing towards to the one forces is pulling downward, one forces is there opposing and upwards. So that means at a certain case these two forces are disappear. In which case when the V is equal to V only, that means if V will reaches to the V, there is no pulling force, there is no pushing force, then the body will continue with the same velocity. What is the Newton first law? What is the Newton first law? If the body, if there is no any external force on a moving, if there is no external force on the body will continue in the straight line or uniform motion unless some external force act on it. It is the Newton first law only, na?
Yes, sir.
See, there is no external force on this one. These forces are balanced by this force. So that means the force will continue with the same velocity. How much velocity body will reach, the same velocity will go. Are you getting? Some doubts?
Yes, sir.
Again you have doubts. Again you are doubt. Is there any doubts? What I am saying, up to certain velocity, the two forces will role play. If these forces will role play, these two forces are vanished. These two forces are vanished. Nothing is there. The body, how much velocity is there? It will act like in vacuum. The body is moving in a vacuum with a constant velocity. Zero forces are appear. The same velocity the body will continues until the body will reach the ground. So that is the main physics behind the when the raindrop is falling to this one. So what this maximum velocity the body will reach means, that velocity is named as the terminal velocity. Very very important. Very very important. This velocity is named as the terminal velocity. Terminal velocity. Terminal velocity is denoted with the V of t. Terminal velocity will denoted with the velocity t. What is meant by terminal velocity? It is the maximum. It is a maximum. It is a maximum, na? It is a maximum constant velocity. Constant velocity. It is a maximum constant velocity acquired by a body. Acquired by a body. When they are acquiring while falling through which it is falling? Through a viscous fluid. Viscous fluid or medium. Viscous fluid or medium. Generalized we are taking the viscous fluid or medium. So our goal is to find out this value. Our goal is to find out this value. So now once again I am drawing the diagram. This is the body. Upward two forces are acting, up thrust, and one more force is acting, viscous force F. Downward force is acting, W forces are acting. So what will happen at a certain case? These two forces are balanced. That means F of T plus F of V is equal to viscous force. Sometimes I am writing a suffix of V, sometimes I am not writing V. Please take care about this one. So F also viscous force only into W. Now I am writing according to Archimedes principle. These radius of the sphere is R. Then I am substituting 4 by 3. Let me write one by one. So that is equal to volume of the liquid and what is the formula? Density of the liquid and also acceleration due to gravity. This is the F of T, that is equal to 6 pi into neta into what is the formula? Neta into R into V, that is equal to what is the mass of the body into acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity. Then I am writing this one. Volume of the liquid is nothing but volume of the liquid. Can I write here? Volume of the liquid is nothing but volume of the object. That is equal to volume of the object is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cubed. Add is in the spherical shape. So add is in the spherical shape 4 by 3 pi r cubed into density of the liquid into acceleration due to gravity 6 pi neta into r into v. Where these values are equal, at the time of terminal velocity, V of t. So that our goal is to find out the V of t only. What is the mass? Mass is nothing but density of the body, density of the object divided by volume of the object. Then mass can be sorry, I written wrongly. So let me write. Yes, I written wrongly. Let me correct it. So the density of the object is equal to mass of the object divided by volume of the object. So then mass of the object is equal to density of the object into volume of the object. As the object is in the spherical shape, that's why the density of the object into spherical shape volume is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cubed into g. Is there any issue up to now? Hello? Can I
వెలాసిటీ కన్నా టెర్మినల్ తీసుకున్నారు కదా సార్, అది లిక్విడ్ యొక్క టెర్మినల్ సార్?
No. This velocity is the object velocity. When the body is moving certain velocity, at a certain case, these two values are equal. What I am saying, see, once again I am repeating here. So let's assume this body is moving like this direction. So the velocity is increasing, slowly increasing. So at a certain case, that velocity is we are named it as the terminal velocity. That value is named as the terminal velocity. The upward forces or downward forces are both are equal. The upward forces mean thrust force. Upward force, one more force is the viscous force. Downward force is the weight of the body. So that velocity we took, where the velocity term is coming only in the viscous force is coming. That's why I put in the Vt, V of t. It is the velocity of the object. Once again you read this sentence, you can easily understand. It is the maximum constant velocity acquired by a body while falling through a viscous medium. So it is the velocity of the body. Are you getting? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, done. So let me continue this one. So now here, so is there any values will cancel? Means r cubed is there, here r is there. So let me cancel this one. R square is the remainder. So r is cancelled, r square is the remainder. So pi is there. So here is the 4 is there, 2 jar, 2 4 jar, 2 3 jar, 2 4 jar, 2 is the remainder. Now here this I am multiplying with otherwise I am sending this 3 yes, I am sending this 3 to other side. So that means what will happen, let me see. I am sending this 3 means what will happen. So these 3, otherwise I am multiplying with 3. I am multiplying with the 3 throughout the equation. Just I am multiplying with 3. That means 3 will cancel. 6 into r square into rho l into g plus 9 into 9, because of I multiplying this equation. Here is the 3 remainder is there, 9 into neta into v of t, that is equal to, here is the 3 is there, 3 multiplication 3 will cancel. Something is dead, a mistake. Is I did mistake? Yes, see, I did mistake here itself. So will you please look on this one? When I am multiplying with 3, these 3 will cancel, na? Why should I write once again?
Yes, sir.
Why should I? Yes, that's why. That's why I am removing this one. So 3 will cancel, 2 will remainder. So 2 r square, that is equal to 2 into rho naught into so r square is there, r square into g. We'll take care about these suffix. It is the density of the liquid, it is the density of the object. It is a very important. If you do mistake means you will get the wrong answers while you are applying in your entrance examination. So what is our goal? Our goal is to find out the Vt. Vt term is appear here. Send all terms to other side. That is equal to 9 into neta into Vt is equal to 2 into rho naught into r square into g minus this term is coming this direction. So 2 r square into rho l into d. So is there any constant to take common? So 2 is the common. So g also common, r square also common. 2 r square g are common terms. Rho naught minus rho l. Rho naught minus rho l is there. So in this we are concentrating only on Vt. Remaining terms are I am sending. So 9 will come this side. 9 neta will come. So let me write in the perfect manner. So that is equal to 2 by 9 into r square by g divided by neta into rho naught minus rho l. This is the formula. This is the formula for terminal velocity. Terminal velocity when the body is falling through a viscous fluid with here is the rho naught is the density of the object, rho L is the density of the liquid. So here is the R is the radius of the object, beta is the coefficient of the viscosity of the fluid, and G is the acceleration due to gravity. If you know these values, you can easily find out the terminal velocity of the object. That is the basic application of the Stokes law. That is the basic application of the Stokes law. So what I told means so when the body is freely falling for a certain height, that means I took in the starting stage I took one of the example, raindrop is falling. That means the velocity will increase slowly increases. If these values are matches to each other, from that place the raindrop velocity will not be changes, it will continue with the constant velocity. What I am telling, if the T is increases, well the body is freely falling, that raindrop, so the T is increases, well slowly the velocity of the body will increases, this body velocity will increases, at the starting stage velocity is 0. So but at the time is equal to 0, velocity is 0, slowly increases at a certain value, it will reaches the maximum value. After that it won't go, it will continue with the same velocity. That velocity is named as the terminal velocity. It is the velocity of the object with respect to the time. It is a graphical representation of the freely falling body through a air, or it is the graphical representation of the raindrop which is falling through a certain height. So that is very important. Did you understand? The velocity of the raindrop will not be gradually increases. It will reach a certain value. After that it will continue throughout the journey. Are you getting? What we did in yearly, we got the 700 and something kilometer per hour. It is a wrong answer. It won't reach that value. It will reach certain constant value. If you want to find out, you can do this one. It is your homework. Let's assume take a raindrop radius is let's assume take how much raindrop will having nearly easy. Just I am taking 0.5 centimeter. 0.5 centimeter. This is the R value. So take the density of the object means density of the water, that is equal to 1000 meter cube. So density of the liquid, object means that one only. Density of the air, take it from Google. So that end up is coming from air, density of the air you can take meter. So coefficient of the density of the air we already know this one. So near value 200 micropies. Find out with convert to SI units and substitute all values. Find out what is the terminal velocity of the raindrop. That is your homework. Do your as an important one. So it is very important. How much velocity of the raindrop will reach to maximum velocity. Now we are continuing this one. Is there any issue till now? Hello, is there any? No doubt, So that now we are going to another topic. So up to now what we discussed, that is the completed our viscosity syllabus. Now what we are going to discuss, that is the advanced one. I am expecting this will come to your examination. That's why I am teaching this one. So only formulas will come in your normal examination, that is your descriptive examination. That's why first one we are discussing flow of the fluid through a cylindrical tube. Flow of fluid through a cylindrical tube. Flow of fluid through a cylindrical tube. So it is also very important application only. They may ask in your examination. But what I am telling, let's assume one cylindrical tube is there like this. Through this one of the fluid is moving. So what is our goal is what is the velocity of the fluid? What is the velocity of the fluid while it is flowing through a tube from its access point of the cylindrical tube? We need to measure what is the velocity of the here, what is the velocity of the here, what is the velocity of the fluid here, what is the velocity of the fluid. That is our goal. In this topic we need to find out. But we don't have any derivation for this one. Just we are going to use the formula. So that is the value of the velocity of the fluid from its axis point of the tube V is equal to P1 minus P2 divided by 4 neta L into R1 square minus small r square. This is the formula. So what is this formula? This formula will tell us that how much velocity of the fluid from its axis point. So that means if you want to find, let's assume this the radius of the tube is capital R. So the pressure of the fluid from one side is equal to P1. The pressure of the fluid is other side is equal to P2. The length of the tube is capital L. See the coefficient of the viscosity of the fluid which is flowing through this one is, let's assume, take neta. Then we can apply this formula to find out the velocity of the fluid in different positions from its axis point. That is the value where r small r is equal to position of the liquid particles from the axis point. So that means here r means this value is the small r. If you go to here means this value is equal to small r. If you go to here means this value is equal to small r. This formula we need to watch. Now I am taking two different cases. Case 1. Let me find out what is the velocity of the fluid particle at the contacting surface of the tube. At the contacting surface of the tube. At the contacting surface of the tube. That is our goal. So let me find out this one. So if you are going to reach this point means the r value, small r value will become radius of the tube. Radius of the tube. If you substitute in this equation, V is equal to P1 minus P2 divided by 4 neta L into, let me drag some 4 neta L into that is equal to capital R square minus small r square, because of small r will become capital R at the point of contacting surface of the tube. Then these two values are, small r I written, these two values are equal, then it will become 0. In the multiplication will become 0. V is equal to 0. That means the velocity of the fluid at the contacting surface of the tube is equal to 0. It is the minimum value. But the real case we won't come to the minimum 0. So it will come to it is the absolute value, perfect value. But real case it won't come. So that will come very small value we will get. Now I am going to the case 2 at the axis point. Access point I am getting. What is mean by access point? Let's assume it is the tube, means this is the access point. Now we are measuring here. What is the r value, small r value here? 0. Now just to substitute in this one, velocity of the fluid at the axis point V is equal to P1 minus P2 divided by 4 neta L into then capital R square minus 0 square. That is equal to P1 minus P2 divided by 4L neta all N into R square. So this value is the maximum value. This value will get the maximum value. While the fluid is flowing through a tube, the maximum velocity of the fluid will have at the access point of the tube. At the place only the fluid will having the more velocity. At the contacting surface of the tube, the velocity of the fluid having the minimum value. It is a nearly 0. The value will be nearly 0. Now I am taking any part. Yes, please. P1, P2 is the pressure difference between the two ends of the tube. The P1, P2 is the P1. Here this pressure, P2 is the pressure difference. L is the length of the tube. Neta is the coefficient of the viscosity of the fluid. So that is the value.
Yes.
Okay, done. So but now at any case 3, at any point means general formula only. At any point means r is equal to small r. So any point means direct formula you need to write. V is equal to P1 minus P2 divided by 4 neta L into capital R square minus small r square. This is the formula for any point the fluid velocity you can find with help of this one. Then we are going to another one. So did you observe this one? You can easily observe this one. You can easily, yes, 1 minute. So while you are observing, while the farmers are working in this one, they may have the very bore wells they will use. So where the bore wells fluids are coming from the pipe means you can easily understand this one. These point they may have the less velocity contact. There's less velocity will have. If you want to put your finger here, so they may having the more velocity fluid is coming out. If you want to put your finger here, they may have a less velocity of the fluid is coming out. You can see your if you have any bore wells point is there which is coming your in your farmer place means it is your agriculture place means field of agriculture means you can easily find out. And the contacting point of the pipe means you don't having the any velocity, that velocity is the minimum velocity point you will get. So at the access point of the tube you will get the maximum velocity of the fluid will comes out. So you can easily observe. Try to if it is possible you can check whether this formula is correct or not. You can easily check. So that is I am requesting. Now one more concept is there. So that concept also out of syllabus only. Let me introduce that concept. It is a very important for your competitive exam. So now what is I am going to?
Where it is maximum, sir?
Hey, at the what I told, at the access point of the tube. So this is the point, access point of the tube. Access point of the fluid which otherwise let me draw the graphical representation of the velocity graph which is flowing through a tube. So let how it will have it. It is the access point of the tube. So the velocity will be maximum at the center. So the velocity is the minimum, this one. So if you are moving from the access point, the velocity will be decreases. So if we are moving from access point, the velocity will be decreases. Velocity after that it will be minimum. So the shape of the fluid, the velocity shape curve will look like. That means more velocity will be at the access point of the tube, less velocity will having at the contacting point of the tube. Are you got? Hello.
సార్ మనం ప్రెస్ చేస్తే అప్పుడు వెలాసిటీ అనేది ఎటువైపు ఉంటుంది సార్?
You are asking that you are decreasing the area of cross section of the tube.
Yes, sir.
No. That case we are not discussing here. If you are decreasing means again you will come to the equation of continuity. A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2. That is the broad equation. This is the broad equation. We are discussing particularly inside the different position of the fluid in the tube. While it is flowing also, there must be maximum velocity at the center, minimum velocity at the contacting surface of the tube. That is a very important. Are you getting what I am saying? So we are concentrating how the velocity profile will looks like while the fluid is flowing through a tube. In the uniform tube I am taken. So even though the fluid is flowing through this direction, at the center of the axis, that is the center, that means access point of the tube is velocity, the maximum velocity is going. While we are going towards to the contacting surface, the velocity is going to decreases. Like this profile is look like. So you can easily try to find out any one small experiment. Otherwise, you Google it from through net. You can easily find out this one. Now we are going to another topic, volume of flow rate. Now I am going to the another topic, very important topic, volume of flow rate. Very important topic. These many times I am telling means it will come definitely in your entrance test examination. This is named as another name is there, Poiseuille equation. This is named as the Poiseuille equation. It is not a Torricelli. It is the Poiseuille equation. Please concentrate here. It is not Torricelli. It is the Poiseuille equation. See here also we are not having the derivation part in one. We are going to apply the formula directly. We are going to apply the formula. You may feel that why you are not giving the derivation means the derivation procedure is not up to our level, because of you are in the plus 1 level, 10 plus 1 level. That way it will come in your maybe in your BSc or MSc level only it will come. That's why they won't give. That means while the procedure of finding this equation, we need to apply different mathematical approaches. That's why they won't give this one. So the volume of flow rate means it is nothing but how much amount of fluid is coming out in unit time. That is the volume of fluid is coming out in unit time. That is the volume of flow rate. That is equal to, we can simply name it as the Q. Q is the how much amount of volume is comes out in unit interval term. It is the amount of volume of the fluid, and this is the interval of time. So the formula directly we need to use this one, pi by 8 into r power 4 divided by neta into P1 minus P2 divided by L. You can easily observe this one, that is the flow rate through the uniform cylindrical pipe. P1 minus P2 is there, L is there, neta is there. Here the value is the 4 is there, but we got 8. Here nothing, pi is there, we got pi. Here is the r power square is there, here we got r power 4. This is the formula for how much amount of flow rate is coming through how much amount of fluid is coming out in unit time. That is the formula for this one. Now this formula I am going to apply this one. I am rearranging this formula. Please look on this one. Just I am keeping P1 and P1 minus P2 one side, remaining all terms to other side. Let me keep this one. Pi into r power 4 divided by 8 neta L. These terms I put outside. So remaining term is the P1 minus P2. Now I need to keep this one as a denominator position. Denominator position means how can I keep? 8 neta L divided by pi r square will come. That is equal to P1 minus P2 divided by, how can I read? Hello, 8, are you there?
Pi r.
Yeah, 8 neta L divided by 8 neta L divided by pi r power 4. This value. So now I am taking, for your easy understanding, I am taking this value as x. I am taking, let's assume x. What will happen? You can easily understand the upcoming derivation. Then Q is equal to P1 minus P2 divided by some x is there. See, what is this one? Q is equal to amount of fluid coming out in unit time. That is equal to volume of flow rate. So what is P1 minus P2? It is the pressure difference. Is it pressure difference? Then can I write delta P? It is the pressure difference divided by delta P divided by X. Now I am recalling one of the important formula. See, when one of the current is flowing through a conductor or any resistor, this is the current I is going. To flow the current, we need to have the potential difference V1 and V2. Current how can it flow? It will flow from higher potential to lower potential. Lower potential side will go. So how much current will flow? According to the Ohm's law, I is equal to V by R. So in the same formula I am applying. I is equal to higher potential V1 minus lower potential V2 divided by resistance of the resistor R. Will you please see this previous formula? Amount of flow, liquid flow Q is equal to P1 minus P2 divided by X. Is there similar? Are you appearing any similar? Here is the current is flowing. Here is the volume flow is flowing. Mass of the liquid is flowing. So here is the potential difference is appearing. Here is the pressure difference is appearing. Here is the resistance is appearing. In the place of resistance we have got some X. Are you getting? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Are you getting? Now then that means this formula can applicable as the similar to the resistors how we are using in the parallel connection and series connection. Now I am recalling how the series connection of the resistors. So it is a very important topic, ma. Once again, I am seriously telling, it is a very important. Now, if the resistors are series connection, now these resistors are series connection. These are the two resistors are there. Let me take only two resistors, is the more enough for us. R1 and R2. The potentials are here V1 and the potentials are V2 and the potentials are V3 is there. Let me take like this. Now now what I am telling that if the resistors are series connection, the current can flow through the resistor must be equal. Is it correct or not? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The current flow must be equal throughout the resistor. Is it correct? Now my question is otherwise I will take it as otherwise I will take the generalized condition. Let me use here the potential difference between these two ends are V. Let me take the potential difference between the two ends are V. Let me take it. Now our goal is, what is the potential here? What is the potential here? What is the value of the potential here? V1 value between these two values. What is the potential value? V2 value between these two values. What I told, V is nothing but pressure. Potential difference delta V is nothing but pressure difference. Are you getting now? I am comparing the electricity and also fluid dynamics. Both I am comparing at a time. Please take care about this one. Now, what is the potential difference according to your serial connection of the resistors? Then V1 is equal to total potential into resistance of the first resistor divided by total resistance of the resistor, that is equal to R1 plus R2. Is it correct only, na? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So,
sir.
what is the potential difference at the second resistor? V2 is equal to total potential divided by into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Okay, na? Then keep it aside. Now I am going to other side. Now, if the resistors are connected in the parallel manner. Now I connected the resistors are in parallel manner. Like this. Sorry. It is not clear. Yes, it is gone. Now I am taking. So let me two resistors are connected in the parallel manner. So like these, these resistors are connected in the parallel manner. So when the resistors are connected in the parallel manner, potential will be constant. V is equal to V only. So V1. So how V1 here? V2 here means here is the potential V1 only. Here is the potential is V1 only. Here is the potential is the V2 only. Here is the potential also V2 only. But current is different. I1 is equal to I2.
Yes, sir.
I1 is equal to I2. What can we find I1? Now I1 is equal to the total current which is entered here. I into what can I write? If you want to find out the I1 current means R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Are you getting? Hello.
Yes, sir.
This is the formula we need to use. Now what about I2? I2 is equal to total current, how much enter into the before dividing this one divided by, so R1 divided by R1 plus R2. What is mean by I in the fluid dynamics? What is in mind? Now I am going to draw the different diagrams. Now will you please, two pipes are there. Here is the two pipes are there. Like this, two pipes are there. Two pipes. They are entering some of the fluid in this one. In this one. Now the pressure is the P1 here. The pressure is the P3 here. Now I need to know P2. What is the pressure difference between the P1 and the P2? See what I told. V means pressure. V means pressure. V1 means here is the P1. Otherwise you can take the P0 and P3. Now I need to know what is the pressure between these one. Otherwise P0 minus, I can take it as for your easy understand what I should take. I take it as a P1. Now what is the value of P0 minus P1? P0 minus P1. P0 minus P1, just to compare this one. So the amount of fluid is entering is the Q. Q amount of fluid is entering. So the Q is nothing but I. When the resistors are in the series connection, the Q will vary or constant.
Constant.
That means the same Q will be passes through the two pipes. Two pipes Q will passes. That means P1 minus P2 is equal to Q into R1. What is the R1? R1 means what I told?
X.
X. R1 means how much X is there here. You need to know X1. You need to know X2. R1 means R1, P1 minus P2 means Q into X1 divided by X1 plus X2.
Plus X2.
That value. What about this value? This value P1 minus P3. P1 minus P3 is equal to
X2 into X2.
that is equal to Q into X2 divided by X1 plus X2. What is mean by X1 means they will give the X1 value. They will give what is the in X, what is the terms are there? In X, what are terms are there? Let's go to the up. What are terms are there? What are there in X? See, 8 neta L by pi r square. If the size of the length of the tube is more, if the radius of the tube is more, that's why they will give. You need to take care about that one. So once again, please remember this one. I will ask him down. I am the poor in memory. That's why. What is the X value? Please recall the X value. 8 neta L divided by pi r power 4. This is the X value. See, will you please look on this one? If the length is increases, X1 value increases. If the radius of the diameter, if the radius of the tube increases, X value will decreases. Are you getting? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
depending upon the shape of the tube, they will give this one. Now, if you go this side. It is the more important. Now, here is the suddenly one of the big tube is coming. Suddenly they will connect it to the two different tubes like this. Suddenly they will change to the two different tubes like this. Please assume these are two non-uniform tubes. That means the resistors are different. That's why I written this is a big diameter tube. It is a small diameter tube. After that, this is going like this. Fluid is going like this. So now my question is, while it is glowing, the current is different. That means current means Q. I is equal to Q. Hello. Hello, my dear students. Are you getting? Now that means the volume of the flow rate will changes depending upon the shape of the tubes. That means now I am questioning that is equal to X1. This is equal to X2. Let's assume. How much current will flow? How much volume flow will go in this tube? According to this one, tell me. Now tell me this pressure is here. Is there any pressure is needed? No need. R1 means X1. Q I needed. So that is a Q. Entering Q is a Q. Now tell me this value. What about this value? Q1 is equal to yes, Q1 amount of flow rate is coming through the pipe 1 is equal to total Q into not R1 X2 divided by X1 plus X2. Now Q2 amount of flow rate through the pipe 2 is equal to total flow rate which is entering into the tube is equal to X1 divided by X1 plus X2. So this is the most important advanced topic to your competitive exam. Are you getting how it is important? Now I give one small example. Let me do one small problem. You can easily get whether it is the important or unimportant. Now I will do small example. You can easily understand this one. Something is not working now today. Yes, it is working now. Now I am taking one of the small example. See, one big tube is coming like this. After that, it is divided into two small tubes, different uniform cross section like this. See, like this it is going. After that, this tube is finally it is connected to the another tube like this. Now the question is now how it will look means the length of the first tube is AB. The length of the AB. After this, the tube is having the through this tube the amount of flow rate is coming Q. So here is the EF is the tube is there. Now here is the GH tube is there. After finally the tube is entering to the CD. There we given the special conditions for this one to solve this one. To solve this problem, they will give the conditions. Let me take that condition besides here. Now the condition is the length of the tube LAB. LAB length is equal to equal to the LCD tube length, and it is half of the length of the LEF tube, half of the length of the LEF tube, and half of the length of the LGH tube. And this is the condition one they given. Now another condition they given, the radius of the tube AB is equal to length of the radius of the tube EF radius of the tube they given, and also radius of the tube CD also given, but the radius of the tube GH is equal to half of the radius of GH. This is the condition. Now they are asking the question, now they are giving that the pressure at A is equal to P naught, and the pressure at D is equal to the pressure at the pressure at A is equal to P naught, the pressure at D is equal to P naught. P naught pressure is there. So higher pressure to lower pressure, the fluid is flowing like this. Now the question is volume of flow rate through EF and GH. Volume of flow rate through EF and GH. First question is volume of flow rate through EF and GH. This is the question. What is the value of volume of flow rate which is flowing through EF and GH? Now how can we do this one? To solve this one you may get the more difficult. Now I am drawing the two equations side by side. So here is the tube is coming like this. One of the tube is coming like this. After this tube is going like this. Here is the pressure is equal to 2 P naught. Now I am simplifying 2 P naught. Here is the pressure is equal to P naught. Now here is the now what is they given? They given some of the values here. Let me draw the similar manner in the resistors manner. Let me resistor this one. After this resistor got like this. After this one of the resistor got like this. After this the two resistors are connected like this. Better to take here also like this direction, like this. Okay. Now tell me first I am concentrating this X value. This X value I need to know that this X value. What is this X value? How can you find this X value? First of all I am taking 1, X2 and X3 and X4 I need to know. What are the X basic formula? X basic formula. X is equal to 8 neta L divided by pi into R power 4. R power 4. R power 4 is there. So now according to they given it is the AB, it is the CD, it is the EF, it is the GH. So the same manner I am taking AB, EF, that is the GH tubes and CD tubes. Now I need to know X of AB, X of EF, X of GH, X of CD. So now I am taking the ratio manner. To find out the X value. Something is not working. Suddenly it will. Okay. Now tell me. Sorry. Now tell me now I am taking the ratio manner. Now X of AB is to. Sorry. Are you feeling it is important or unimportant? Important question or an important question. So you may get the question like this in your DRDO examination and ISRO type examination. So that's why I am teaching like this. So this is equal to, now we are concentrated here, X of AB x of CD is to x of EF is to x of GH I am taking. So in this formula what is there? Please look on this one. See in this one L divided by R square is there. Remaining all terms are constant. L divided by R square is there. Now x of AB, what is the L value? L value, x of AB. Go to the x of AB, L value. They given the condition. Let me write condition here itself. Let me write here itself condition. Oh shit. Sometimes it is moving on without any. So now I am writing conditions here. L of AB is equal to L of CD is equal to length of EF divided by 2 is equal to length of GH divided by 2. Again another condition is there. Radius of AB is equal to radius of EF is equal to radius of CD is equal to radius of GH divided by 2. GH by 2. Now I am taking where the division is there, I am taking that place as x. Now I am taking this is the some constant. Let's assume GH. So LG is equal to, otherwise I will put it here. L of x of AB is equal to length of GH by 2 divided by what is there? R square is there. R square means length of AB is equal to RG by, I am taking all, I am writing in the terms of GH. All equations I am writing in terms of GH. Because of it is the GH term is there. So AB is equal to RGH by 2. But is the R power 4 is there. That is equal to RGH divided by 2 whole power 4. Is to x of CD. X of CD means the length of the CD is equal to LG by 2 only. So LGH divided by 2. LGH by 2 divided by, so L by R by 4. R by 4 means CD. CD means RCD. So RCD means RGH divided by 2 whole power 4 is to, and XEF means length of EF. EF is equal to, both are same. Length of EF and length of GH both are same. Are you getting? Hello. That is equal to, it is nothing but length of GH divided by, now EF is equal to R of EF is equal to GH by 2. That is equal to RGH divided by 2 whole to the power of 4 is to GH, what I took here, length of GH, X of GH is equal to GH, we took X only. That is equal to, we took that only, that is nothing but L of GH divided by R of GH whole to the power of 4. Are you getting? Hello?
సార్ అది
No. What I do? I am expressing the terms in terms of length of GH. All I am expressing the all terms in terms of GH and RGH or LGH I am taking. That's why, so I am comparing to write the X of AB means, what is the X of AB means, I need to know L of AB divided by R of AB I need to write. L of AB is nothing but LGH by 2 is there. That's why L is nothing but LGH by 2 I written. In terms of I am writing RGH. GH tube I am writing. Because of the variation in the two terms we are having GH tube only. Here the tube GH tube only is the variation. That's why I took G. In terms of GH I am writing everything.
XCF చెప్పండి సార్ ఒకసారి.
లాస్ట్ ది LGH by RG power 4 చెప్పండి సార్.
This one. See what I am telling. So what I told. See, I took the terms with reference of the GH tube only. GH tube means length of the tube. GH means length of the GH only. Radius of the GH tube means RGH only. RGH, because of we took RGH only. RGH only. We took the values with reference of the RGH only. See, now you can easily understand with help of yes, let me take like this. Let me take like this. Here you have the 100 rupees. Your friend having the 50 rupees. You having the 100 rupees. You friend having the 50 rupees. Now my question is, what is the value? What is the amount of value as compared to your friend? Means that means how can we say? So if we are representing with help of your friend value, the ratio of the value as respect to your friend means you have only 50% you told. Are you getting? That means what I am telling, these I am representing with reference of this value. So that how can we get this value? That means your value divided by your friend value. That is equal to you are getting 50%. 50%. Now I need to represent only with respect this value only. That means your friend value divided by your friend value. That is equal to 1%. Now what is this one? What is this one? X of GH. X of GH means length of the GH and radius of GH.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Are you getting or not?
Yes, sir.
So the remaining all terms are written in terms of X of with reference of the GH tube. The only tube is only ideal tube we took GH tube itself. Are you getting?
Sir, not sir.
You are not getting. Here what we mentioned means the complete equation is written in terms of GH tube measurements. GH tube measurements only you do. So that means the GH tube XG value means the length of the GH value, the radius of the GH value.
Yes, sir.
Okay, na done. So otherwise you can say here. Now tell me here, what is the ratio of the value with respect to you and your friend? Now tell me, what is the value of you and your friend? Here your value is equal to 100 by 100 is to your friend value is equal to 50 by 100. That is equal to your friend having 1 by 50%, you having the 1%, your friend having 1 by 2%. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
That means you are measuring with reference of which value, that value will get only one. That's why I took the measurements of the reference, I took LGH, the measurements of RGH, I took RGH only.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then cancel the terms. LGH ratio, all are cancelled. RGH square, 4, all are cancelled. That is equal to 1 by 2 divided by 1 by 4 whole square. 1 by 2 whole square is 2. Now 1 by 2 divided by 1 by 2 whole power 4 is to 1 divided by 1 by 2 whole power 4 is to 1 by 1. We got like this. That is equal to what is the ratio of this one? So here is the 1 by 2 is there, 1 by 2 means 1 by 3 will come. 1 by 2 is there, 1 by 2 cubed is there, 1 by 2 whole power 3 will come. So here is the what we will having 1 by 4 itself. That is equal to 1 by 2 whole cubed means 8. 8 is to, again 8 is to, 1 by 2 whole to the power of means 16 is to 1. What is this value? Are you getting? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So that means I am rewriting the formula. X of AB is to X of CD is to X of EF is to X of GH is equal to 8 is to 16 is to 1. Hello, are you getting?
Yes, sir.
So now if you want to write the in terms of only X, what I took X, X is nothing but hello, what I took X is nothing but the value of the X value or GH term. It is the GH term. So now can I rewrite the diagram like this? So the diagram looks like, it is the resistor like this, after this resistor like this, here is the resistor like this. What is this value? X itself. Because of it is the CD. No, GH now we took GH only one, na? Where it is GH? It is the AB, it is the CD, it is the GH, and it is a EF na.
EF.
EF na, we took EF na, like this. I now some tiny EF. Okay, now we will go to this one. Oh, sorry. Okay, it is a very very important ma. Now it is the EF and GH. Now where it is we are getting GF is equal to 1. Just simply put X. Now after that, what is the GH value? GH value is equal to GH. GH value is equal to no. I put wrong. GH value is equal to 1 na. GH value is equal to 1. So the GH value is equal to X. Now EF value is equal to 16x. Now AB value is equal to 8x. What is the CD value is equal to 8x. We got the X value. Then how can you find this one? Now if the resistors are X means is nothing but in the current. X means in the current means resistance. R. Now these type of resistors are connected like this. What is the equivalent resistor?
R1 plus R2.
No. Let me finish this one. What is the first question? What they asking the first question? Question A is equal to. Question A is equal to what is the volume flow rate through EF and GH? EF flow rate and GH flow rate. So EF flow rate means Q of flow rate means Q of EF value, comma Q of GH value. They are asking question. Q is similar to potential. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
Potential. Q is a similar value of the potential. Are you getting? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So Q is the potential. Now the potential means how can we write the potential in the parallel connection potential? Go to the first one.
1 by
No. I written wrong na. Q is not. So nobody told me Q is not a potential na. Q is a current na.
Yes,
Current na. Now how will if it is coming this much Q is coming. What is the value of Q here? It is a parallel division. Parallel division means now tell me the value of Q here. Now go to the second diagram. Let me go to the second diagram. Where it is?
I into R.
Wait. Somebody they may get the doubt. Where it is? Which side is there? We throw out the board. We move. Okay. Now we are going to another one. Now something is stuck. Wait for 1 minute. It is not working. Somewhere we did not. Let me decrease the size of the board. Then we can easily understand where we written. Yeah, here is the. Okay, here is the.
తెలుసా దీనికి గేని పెట్టిన స్టార్టింగ్ చెప్తాను
Okay.
ఏం పెట్టిన
Yes. Please look on this one. Now tell me. Please copy this one. We are going to use this one. I1 is equal to total I into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. I2 is equal to total I into R1 divided by R1 plus R2. Now we are going to our running topic. Our running topic. Again is stuck.
దీని బటన్ ఎక్కడ
Now we are going to here. Here only na. Now something is disturbed. Yes, tell me the value of now I need to write here one small diagram. Wait. Small diagram I will put here. See now coming current like this. After that it is a division like this. After that, it is a division like this. Now here is the I1, here is the I2. Now I1 formula is equal to total I into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. I2 is equal to total I into R1 divided by R1 plus R2. Now with help of this one, I is nothing but Q only. That is equal to Q is equal to total Q into X divided by 16 plus 16x into 1x, that is equal to 17x. X is cancelled, that is equal to Q divided by 17.
17.
Sir, 16x ka sir resistance.
That's why I written, ma. See what I told. Q1 is equal to this is the 1, this is the 2, so that is equal to 2, that is equal to x divided by 16x plus x, that is equal to x you take a common, 16 plus 1 is equal to 17, x is cancelled, that is equal to Q by 17. Are you getting or not? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello, my dear students. The question who raised that student? Are you understanding or not?
Yes, sir.
Then that is equal to next problem. Next problem, this one. What is this one? The same principle. I2 is equal to Q2. That is equal to total Q into
16x plus
total Q into 16x divided by 16x plus x. That is equal to 16Q divided by 17. 17. X is cancelled while taking the common. First question answer is solved. Hello? Okay, done. Done. One more second. Let me clear this completely. One more second, I will explain from here to here. Let me clear this one. I told you this is the advanced topic. You need to use your brain as much as large, as much as completely. Then only you can understand. So let me see here the diagram. What I told in the fluid, the fluid flow rate I is comparable with the current flow in the circuit. Current flow in the circuit. What they asked, what is the fluid flow rate in the EF? EF means I1 they are asking. I1 means what is the formula? Total flow rate what is coming? Q into R2. R2 means what is the resistance of R2 here? R1 here. R2 means what is the value? In the current, in the fluid, X is comparable with the resistance of the resistor in the current. Are you getting? These are the comparison. In the potential in the fluid will be comparable with the voltage in the circuit.
Yes, sir.
These are the comparable terms in the current and fluid flow rate. Then EF they are asking. That means the total flow rate Q is coming into what is the R2 value? R2 value is X here. X divided by R1 plus R2. R1 means 16X plus R2 is equal to X. Then I am taking the common term of X, that is equal to Q into X divided by into 16 plus 1 is equal to 17. X will come. So X is cancelled, that is equal to Q by 17.
Yes, sir.
Then the similar manner this one also. Q of GH is equal to flow rate through the GH is equal to, then the similar manner total flow rate Q into, here is the total flow rate is equal to I. I2 is equal to total flow rate I into R1. R1 is equal to 16X. So 16X divided by 16X X1 plus X2 value is equal to X. That is equal to Q into 16X divided by 17X. X cancelled, that is equal to 16Q divided by 17.
Yes, sir.
That means how much flow rate is coming through the pipe EF and pipe GH means these values are coming. These values are coming. What is the next question? Next question what is they are asking? Next question. Once again I will recall the next question. So it is the time is too much. Let me do the next question in no, I need to complete here itself. Otherwise you may get the confused. That's why I need to complete here itself. So what is the next question? Let me see this one. Otherwise I will tell once again the next question. So the pressure at E and F. The second question is pressure at E and F. The pressure at E and F, we need to find out the value. So what is the value? We need. How can you find? Let me go to this diagram once again. See, this is the diagram circuit. Like this circuit we are having. So like this circuit we are having. So like this circuit we are having. Now like this circuit we are having. Now what they are asking? E and F. What is the values of? That means pressure means what is the meaning? So pressure is comparable with potential. Now they are asking potential at V and potential at here F. They are asking. How can you find this one? How can you find this one? So let me do like this. Let's assume what is the net resistance of the G circuit. Net resistance of the G circuit. What is the value here? Here is the X is there. Here is the 16X is there. Here is the what is the value of this? 8X is there. What is the here? 8X is there. 8X is there. Like this we are having. Now what is the net resistance of this one? Net resistance X of net. Total resistance of the complete tube. Complete tubes is equal to. First I am taking starting here. That is equal to resistance of the 8X. Plus their two resistors are in parallel connection. These two resistors are in parallel connection. That is equal to, what is the value? If the two resistors are parallel means R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. That is, here is the 16X. 16X into X divided by 16X plus X. This value over. After that we are moving towards this one. That is the 8X. That is what is the value of final one? Final one is equal to, let me go. Wait. This this whiteboard also not cooperating with me. That is equal to, this value is equal to 8X plus X square. X square means 1X will cancel. That is equal to 16X divided by 17X. Is it correct only, na? 16X divided by 17X plus 8X. You will take the 8X is the common term. That is equal to 8 plus 16 by 17 plus 8. That is equal to LC is the 17. 8 into 17 plus 16 plus 8. X I took common, na? X I took common. X square is there. X square means 1. X square is there, X is there. Okay. Yes. Okay, that is equal to X will remainder here. So that's why I took common out. Okay, na then. Now it's okay, na? How?
Sir, give 17X rather 16X by 17 sir.
How it will possible? R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. 16X into X. How it is having 16X into X. So 16 into X, 16X square. 16X plus X is equal to 17X only. I wrote here correct only. Okay then. So X is the remainder, that X you took common. So 8 plus 16 by 17 plus 18. So that value is equal to 8 into 17. This is the total value. This value you will get. No need to do here. I will keep 28 divided by 7, 288 divided by X. It is the total net value, net resistance of the value. So what will be the how we are taking this one? If this is the circuit, let me go one diagram. It is a very big question, so that's why I told you, if anybody is not interested means please log out if you are at middle also. No issue like this. So this is the circuit like this. Every time I am going to the compare with the circuit. See now what I am told. See, here is the current I is coming like this. Here is the current I is also going outside. That means total current I is equal to, how it will pass? So the potential difference delta V divided by total net resistance R net. Is it correct only, na? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Circuit current. Here is the potential V1. Here is the potential V2. So potential difference is V1 minus V2 divided by net resistance of the total circuit. This is the circuit. Now in the similar manner, I means Q. I already told. I means Q. V means P. V means P. And X means R. So that means in the similar manner, Q is equal to, in the similar manner, Q, total flow Q is coming out is equal to change in pressure divided by net resistance of R net, X net. Is it correct only, na?
Yes, sir.
So how much pressure difference between these two terms? They already given in the diagram. Here is the 2 P naught, here is the P naught is there. So 2 P naught minus P naught is equal to 2 P naught minus P naught divided by X net. Just now we find it out. What is the value? 288 divided by 17 into X. This is the value. Hello, are you getting?
Yes, sir.
పొటెన్షియల్ నెట్ కనుక్కున్నాం కానీ ఆర్ నెట్ కనుక్కోలేదు కదా సార్ మనం.
See, R net is nothing but X. See, I already given every time. Current is comparable with the amount of flow rate. Potential is comparable with the pressure. See, this is the X means what we assume the sum of the constant term. X is comparable with the resistance of the circuit. We found X net value. X net is nothing but R net only.
సార్ నాట్ సార్ పొటెన్షియల్ నెట్ అనేది మనం ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేసాం కదా సార్. అయితే మనం ఆర్ నెట్ అని వేసుకున్నాం కదా సార్. అంటే పొటెన్షియల్ నెట్ కనుక్కున్నాం కదా సార్ మనం. ఫైన్ సార్.
No. So what is this one? Is the complete current flowing through the circuit is equal to what is the potential between the two terminals? Two terminals means here is the potential V1, here is the potential V2. V1 minus V2 divided by total circuit resultant resistance R net. In the similar manners, we are having the two tubes. What is the potential? What is the pressure here means of 2 P naught. What is the pressure at the end is equal to P naught. What is the resultant X value is equal to X net we got. Are remaining people, are you getting or not? Is there any issue? Remaining people, please.
No, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Are you having any issue regarding this? While I am comparing this one, that student is asking R net is not equal to X net. That is your issue, na? Hello.
నో సార్ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేసింది పొటెన్షియల్ నెట్ కదా సార్. మనం ఆర్ నెట్.
No, we did not find the R net only we found. X net only we found. Let me go to the top.
X net is equal to R net.
X net is nothing but R net only.
అది కరెక్టే సార్ కానీ పొటెన్షియల్ నెట్ కనుక్కున్నాం కదా సార్.
Where we found potential net? We did not find potential net. We did not find potential net. Nothing we found. Only we found our X net only. X net only we found.
ఓకే సార్.
Okay. Something here I written na P is directly proportional to V. And in the similar manner I need to write X is directly proportional to R. We found out only X net only.
ఎస్ సార్.
Okay, done. Then now we are going continuing our. So now here what we will get, Q is equal to 2 P naught by P naught. That is equal to Q is equal to 2 P naught minus P naught is equal to P. P naught divided by 288 divided by 17x. 17x. Hello. Then 17 I am sending top. That is equal to 17 P naught divided by 288. 88 only. So are you looking this diagram? Let me see this one. So when you are looking this diagram means I am going to the diagram once again. Let me check this one. You got the Q value. Total Q value you got. What is the total Q value means? Total I you got. Q is nothing but I, na? Q is nothing but. So Q is equal to 17 P naught divided by 288 you got. So this value is nothing but as compared to Q is equal to I value. Now what they are asking? Now let me draw diagram once again. This is the diagram. This is the diagram we are having. So if the current is coming like this I, it will divide as a I1, it will divided as a I2, it will become as a I. Hello, is it correct or not?
Yes, sir.
It will go like this. Are you correct or not? Now my question is I1 here. I1 means what is the potential here? My question is the potential. Potential is the parallel connection. Let me go to the starting explanation. Potential in the parallel connection. Potential in the parallel connection. Starting explanation. I am going to the starting. So I is equal to Q.
I1 is equal to I into R to the
Okay. Otherwise, I is equal to Q, na? Okay. Potential. We need to find the potential. Voltage means sorry, pressure means voltage, na? Voltage means let me do like this. Please let me do like this. P naught minus. Okay. Let me draw the once again diagram here. What we get the diagram means like this diagram we got, like this diagram we got, like this diagram we got, like this diagram we got. So here is the 2p naught we have, here is the 8x we got, here is the 16x we got, here is the 8x we got, here is the x we got. So they are asking what is the potential at E and F. They are asking here the potential. They are asking V. They are asking P, pressure they are asking. Here is the P1. They are asking here is the P2 values they are asking. Indirectly they are asking V1 and V2 potential they are asking. Is it correct only now they are asking? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Now so now this is the Q is entering here. Q is entering. Now I am taking 2p naught. So this is the parallel connection. Parallel connection means a voltage must be constant throughout the circuit. These two circuits voltage must be constant. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
Are you getting? Hello. What I am asking, these two connection must be. These I am asking. I am assuming that here is the pressure is the P1. In the circuit I am taking the V1. In the circuit I am taking the V2. In the circuit I am taking this is the current I is going. So in the starting stage the potential is the V0 I am taking. So if the I is coming here, after that is dividing as the I1 and I2. So what I am telling, if it the V1 means here itself V1 only, potential same. In the parallel connection potential is same, and they will having the different currents. Hello. Yes, na?
sir.
So so that means here is the potential is same, means P1 here itself both are same. Again the point here also potential is P1 only. Hello.
Sir.
So throughout this circuit, throughout this tube, potential is common. That is equal to pressure is common. So that is equal to P1 is common. So 2p naught minus P1, we are having the 8x. Value is equal to Q. So can I apply the Ohm's law here? Can I apply the Ohm's law? What is the Ohm's law? V is equal to IR. V is equal to means a potential difference. Delta V is equal to I into R. Now I am applying this small portion voltage Ohm's law. Now I am applying the small portion Ohm's law. So now apply the Ohm's law here. So what is the Ohm's law? V is equal to IR. So V means the potential difference. Potential difference means 2p naught minus P1 is equal to, we need to find out P1 value. What is the current flowing through this one? I is equal to Q into, what is the R value? 8x. What is our P1 value? What is the Q value? Q just now we find it out.
17 P naught.
Say Q is equal to 17 P naught divided by 288x into 8x. Xx cancel. If anything is cancelled means I am taking the 2p naught, this one. 2p naught minus p naught. So our aim is to find out the P1. Send to P1 this side. This term this side. So that is equal to P1 is equal to 2p naught minus 17p naught. 17 into 8 divided by 288 p naught. Are you getting? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So you can do this one. This is the mathematical application. Then after that you need to take it out. The P naught is the common term. P naught is the common term. Now from this one, P naught is the common term. 2 minus 17 into 80, 17 into 8 divided by 288, this value. Then the P1 value we found. Again we are going to the circuit. Once again I am going to the circuit. Now this one, P0 we got. P0 we got. After that you need to do. Now again here you see, this value they are asking P2. P2 means the same potential will appear in the throughout the circuit. So the pressure you have also P2 here itself. Here is the pressure also P2 here itself. This pressure already given. What is the value? P0 value. According to diagram. Hello. Hello. Hello, are you there or not?
Yes, sir.
Your brain is already saturated, I hope. Huh?
Yes, sir.
That's why you are not getting. So that is the physics, that is the physics. Okay, let me do this one. These are the final derivation. After that, I will close the session. So very big, long lecture. That's why. Please, take it about. It is a purely advanced application. That's why I am interestedly I am teaching this one. So what is this one? See, here is you already know this one. In the parallel connection, always voltage is common. In the throughout this wire, any place voltage is constant. In the voltage means in your tube, voltage means pressure. That means pressure is constant. So P2. I am written the P2. So you know the P2 value. Now I am applying this small portion Ohm's law. This small portion Ohm's law. What is the Ohm's law here? Ohm's law is equal to V is equal to IR. V is nothing but delta V I am taking. Delta V is equal to IR. Delta V is nothing but potential difference. Current is flowing like this direction. So fluid is flowing like this direction. Means P2 minus P0 is equal to current I is equal to Q value into R. What is the R value is? 8x. Then what is the Q value? Q value already you know. 17 divided by 288 P0 into 8x. Is there any x is there? 28x na? 288x. So xx cancel. We need P2 value. Send P0 this side. That is equal to P2 is equal to 17 divided by 288 into 8 P0 plus what will come? P0, one more P0 came. Take it as the P0 common term. P0 is equal to, P2 is equal to P0 common, take it out. So 17 into 8 divided by 288 plus 1. So this is the small mathematics. Take it as the LC and multiply with the 17 into 8. You will get the sum of the value. That value is equal to P2 value. So
Sir,
this
P0 తీస్తే 2 వస్తుంది కదా సార్.
P0 when where it is. So I am not getting. So we are telling that the P1 and P2 value in terms of P0 only. They won't given the P0 values. They are not given the P0 values. We need to represent the values of pressure at E and F. E and F in terms of P0 only.
Yes, sir.
Okay, done. So this is the complete solution of this problem. How we are applying the
problem, sir.
Hello.
This is a syllabus problem only, sir. Revision.
No. What I am not getting. Please.
Sir, ఇది మన syllabus.
No. I already told na. This is the completely advanced lecture. So you don't have this type of problems. So this is.
PDF పంపారా సార్? దీనికి సంబంధించిన PDF.
ఇది నేను మీకు PDF పెట్టాలి అంతే కదా? ఇప్పుడే పెడతాను.
పెట్టండి, sir.
ఓకే.
Yes, sir.
ఓకే.